Hey everybody, Tony Mejia here for WagerTalk.com with the Week 16 NFL Ratchet game, which reminds us all that there are those less fortunate than we are out there. And on that note, happy holidays to you and yours. Hope the week finds you well and offers you some downtime to enjoy the action on Sunday, which includes carving out some time to watch fun games like Patriots Bills, Chiefs Steelers, Vikings Rams, Broncos Raiders, and of course, the Jets and Jaguars. Jacksonville is visiting East Rutherford in one of just two Week 16 games that don't have any playoff implications whatsoever. But two of the league's bottom four teams getting together means that there are draft implications, and it will have a significant impact on what happens in late April and who drafts where as everyone gathers in Las Vegas for the big event. Pass rushers Kayvon Thibodeau, Aiden Hutchinson, and George Karflatis out of Purdue join defensive backs Kyle Hamilton, Andrew Booth Jr., Derek Stingley, Kyer Elam, and Ahmad Gardner from Cincinnati among the top prospects. So there's lots of talent on the defensive side of the ball, and there's no question that both the Jets and the Jaguars can use significant help there. Currently, the Jags are 2-12 and own the NFL's worst record by a half a game over the suddenly resurgent Lions. The Jets are 3-11, even with Houston record-wise, but behind the Texans due to a head-to-head tiebreaker. With games against Buffalo and Tampa Bay scheduled after this matchup, the Jags are, in a lot of trouble there, and the Jets can absolutely finish 3-14 as well if they come up with a victory here. Jacksonville visits New England and then hosts Indianapolis to wrap up, so they're in a lot of trouble as well. At this point, the Jaguars and the Jets can really solidify their stance as a bottom two team by losing this game. So the Jaguars are 0-6 away from home this season. They've lost their two December games outside of North Florida by a combined margin of 57-7. They've only covered in 2 of 6 road games and are counting on seeing some improvement out of rookie number 1 pick Trevor Lawrence, who appears to have hit the wall, missing throws and struggling mightily with sustaining drives. The 16 points that Jacksonville scored against Houston last week ended up being the most that team has scored in a 5-game span, which tells you just how challenged they've been on that side of the ball. The Jags scored a season-high 23 points out in London against Miami on October 17th, but have given up 30 or more in 3 of their last 5 contests, including last week's 30-16 upset loss against the Texans. And that was a Ratchet game loser for us since we were on the Jag side laying points. And that loss drops us to 10-4 on these videos, but we haven't dropped 2 in a row yet and don't plan on starting now. It's definitely not going to be easy since this is a brutal matchup going off as a pick'em, and there are really no good choices to be had. New York has given up 30 points in 3 straight weeks and in 7 of the last 9. Although Jacksonville is on week 2 of the Darrell Bevell experience, pulling interim head coaching duties following Urban Meyer's dismissal, the Jets won't have their first-year head coach, Robert Saleh, due to COVID protocols, which leaves tight ends coach Ron Middleton in charge. Ironically, Middleton was on the Jag staff for the previous 8 years, so he should know some personnel well, but has his own problems since 15 New York Jets are scheduled to be out due to COVID at the time of this taping, and they'll need to get cleared in time to play, or in Saleh's case, coach, just to be a part of this one. The Jaguars do have an advantage in that regard, but considering they're in the driver's seat for the worst record, I don't know that they'll be inspired to get out of that, especially since a loss here pretty much guarantees that they'll finish with the number 1 overall pick. I'm not sure if Shad Khan will phone down to Darrell Bevell and say, throw this one, but I certainly don't want to be on the Jaguars side, even as a pick'em. So we're going to ride the New York Jets, COVID and all, hopefully get a lot of those players back and improve to a 4th victory on the season. It definitely does help to have Zach Wilson back running the offense. So for our Week 16 Ratchet pick, we're riding the New York Jets over the Jacksonville Jaguars. For WagerTalk.com, I'm Tony Mejia.